good.
How
Yeah.
about you?
Yeah, we are fine. Thank you. So today we just shortcut, and it's also going to be very short. In our previous classes, we discussed different ways how we can get data into data fabrics. So we can import the data through some other methods. We can use a flat file. We can also use a pipeline and journey something. I think I've forgotten. But shortcut is one of the ways that we can also get data into our lake house in data fabrics, where we can get data into data fabrics. So, but there is difference between shortcut method and other methods that we have discussed before. And what is this difference? The difference is that in shortcut, we know how shortcut works. If you want to create shortcut for a document, for instance, you can have a document. You can have a document in any of the folders on our systems. Maybe you want to create the shortcut for that document on our desktop. So we can create this shortcut, and when we create the shortcut, what we just need to do is to anytime we want to open short document, we just open it through the shortcut. And if we delete the shortcut, it does not affect the main document. So that's the same way that the shortcut also works in data fabrics. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Like I said earlier, shortcut is one of the ways that we can get our data into data fabric, so that we can continue with any transformations that we want to do on the data. So shortcuts are objects in one lake that point to another storage locations. So that's what shortcut does. It just pointing. We're able to access other storage locations. It can be an external storage location. It can also be an internal storage locations. If we have a file inside another lake, inside another one lake, are you getting it? We can use shortcut to access that data. So shortcut will connect us to that data, and then the location that the shortcut point to is known as the target part of the shortcut. And I said earlier, if we delete the shortcut, it does not in any way affect the data. So shortcut behave like symbolic links. They are independent objects from the target. If you delete a shortcut, the target remains unaffected. If you move, rename, or delete a target part, the shortcut can break. Yes, of course. Also, in a normal shortcut, if you create a normal shortcut, if the data source, if you rename the data source, if you rename the object, the document, the previous shortcut that we have created will not work again. So similarly, in data fabric, that is also obtainable when we have a shortcut, when we create shortcut for data source. So a shortcut is just a pointer. It doesn't hold its own copy of the data. So this is also very important for us to know that the shortcut doesn't have its own data. So it's still the same data from the data source that we are still working on. So it means that any changes that we make through the shortcut, it will still be reflected on the actual original data or the target source. So any updates, deletions, additions that we make through the shortcut will be reflected in the source. So that is sorry. So if you want to create shortcut, before we demonstrate it, shortcut can be created in lake houses, that is Custom Query Language Database in the fabrics. And then we also have some external sources that we can access data from with the aid of shortcuts like Azure Data Lake Storage, Gen 2, Amazon S3. They are all here. So everything that we have here, all these ones, they are external sources. We can access data from them using shortcuts. If you have data in Dataverse, you can do that. Amazon S3 too, you can also do that. But we only have one internal source. That is the Microsoft OneLake. So we can access data from one lake to another with aid of shortcut. So I'm going to demonstrate how to use shortcut to access data with us now. I'm going to demonstrate it to us. Let me. So this is our lake house. If you remember last week, we created this workspace. That is the Winnipeg Group workspace. And we did some activities. We created, we work on notes, we work on Spark Notes. And earlier before that, we also imported some data into the lake house. So we want to create shortcuts. If you want to create shortcuts inside our lake house, we created this lake house 101. So let me click on the what is happening. So okay, let me click on the lake house. Okay, sorry. Yes. So these are the tables that we have the tables here that we have already imported to the lake house. I think we did that upper week. And we also have these tables that we able to, when we perform some operations on this data here, we have this partition data, but that's not what we want to do today. So for us to connect to data through through shortcut, what do? We have to create the data file. The data file has to be inside this files folder, like any other data that we have. All our data, they are going to be inside this. Look at it. They're going to be inside these files. So though we have tables here, but the data source will be here. If you are importing any data, any flat files are from any other data source. So if you want to create shortcut, what we need to do, we need to come to this three. There's a name that we call this 3 points here. So we click on it. So from here you can see create new shortcut. So if you want to upload, you can click. If you want to upload file, like we have done before, you can go through this route, but we are not uploading any file. You want to create a new shortcut. So I click create new. So it's opening this window for us so that we can select the source where we want to import the data or where we want to connect the data, where the data we want to connect to is. So in this case, these external sources. So these external sources, we don't have. I don't have connection to any external sources. But of course, we're already working inside OneLake, so we're able to connect to any data source within our OneLake or within Fabric itself. So in this case, we are going to be connecting to internal sources as against these external sources. So if to do that, we just click here. So once we click here, it's going to load all the lake house that we have inside our fabrics. So it's going to load all the lake house that we have. So in this case, we have two workstations here. I mean workspace here. My workspace. This is the workspace that I created for myself. This is the one that I created for the group. So I want to import data. I want to connect to a data inside this lake house, the one inside the Winnipeg group workspace. So what I need to do is just to click here, just to select the lake house that I want to pick data from. And once I do that, I click next. So when I click next, because it's just going, what it's doing is that it's going to that one lake to access everything that we have inside the one lake. So if we click here, okay, let me go back. Instead of accessing the data, let me go to my own workspace. Don't let us use our lake house. Let's import data from another lake. So let's use this. This from another workspace, not a current space that we are working in. So click next. So from here, we open the file. So in this file, we have different folders. So we can come here. So this one data source, that's another one. So all of them, they are data source. So what we need to do is, if I want to connect to every one of them, I will just check these buses. But in this case, I'm not interested in connecting with all of them. So just the first two. So I've checked the first two. I want to connect to the others. I also want to connect to this data. So the next things to do is to click next. So this one is transform your data. So the transformation of data is, I think maybe when we want to add extra columns, we want to do some transformation, but we are not doing that now. So we are going to skip this. We are going to skip this step. So skip. So what happened here is that it's already ready here. So if you want to rename, the shortcut, so we can just rename. But most of the time, it's not needed to rename. We can just leave the shortcut the way it is. Otherwise, if you want to rename, we can rename. So we click. I don't want to rename, so I just click that. So the next thing to do is to create the shortcut. Create the shortcut. Create. So this is our main lake, the one inside Winnipeg group. So we can see this is you can see how this folder, how it looks like. It has this symbol or this signs here. So that is what is indicating that it's a link. It is a shortcut that is a link to another file. So we can, if I click on it, this is the file. Says CSV is the file. So this particular file is not inside this Winnipeg group. It's in another workstation. It's in another data source, but we can still work on it inside this inside our Winnipeg group, because we are able to use shortcut to link us to that data. So this also another data, because we imported two. We created shortcut for two data sources. So this is another one too. So in this one, we have 3 different files. So if we work on any of these files, it's also going to reflect on those on the data source, on what we have from data source. So these are the ones that I tried to create. I created shortcut for this one before we started the class. So this is how to create a shortcut for this is how to create shortcut for data that to connect to external data source that is external to the lake house that we are currently working in. As we have also seen, if we have access to some other external data source like S3, Amazon, and all those, or lake or Dataverse, we can also connect. We can also connect to those data sources. So, and anything that we do on data sources, it's going to reflect. It will reflect any changes that we make. So that is all about how to create shortcuts, and that we can also create, like I said, those external sources, but we don't have means to demonstrate that now. So this is what we will be looking at today. We are just looking at the internal source, how we can connect to data from one lake to another lake. So if you have question, any question, Mr. Winger, hello.
Hello, sorry, I'm
Can
here.
you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So if you have question, I don't know. I hope we understand, yeah.
Yeah.
Any question?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think it's straightforward. It's not difficult. If you want to, I will try to let's go back to that. Let's create another shortcut. Let's try one of the external sources. I try this data graph.
Let me give you a link so that you can create shortcuts for Azure Data Lake Gen. So I'm coming.
Okay. So I tried this one is
So the link I just sent you now, you are going to edit it.
where
So
you send it
I
to.
send it to the chats. Go to the Teams chat. So you're still going to edit. Just hold on for me.
Teams chat.
The Microsoft Teams chat. I pasted it there.
Can't see
I'm
it.
coming, please.
Maybe it's on that one. Okay. Say I need to edit it, right?
Yes, I'll give you what you need. You will need to edit now. I'm coming.
Okay. So I'm not able to connect to data fast.
Yes, because you don't have any Dataverse account on that account.
Yes.
But just hold on, please. Sorry. I'm coming. Okay. So what I sent to the chat, copy it. So you will now do some editing now. Go to the Teams chat. Go to the Teams chat. You see that you see HTTPS blah 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 slash the storage name, right? So edit that storage name and change it to Maven storage.
All right.
I'm interfacing between my because I'm using my phone. So sorry, I'm interfacing between the your screen and the this thing. Are you showing the twin chats?
I can't set the screenshot. I don't know. Don't know why it's not.
How are you sharing your screen?
Okay.
You can look for Microsoft Teams. Go to click on chats. Mhm. You see that link I sent to you now? You will copy it, you will paste it back to the chat. Before you now send it, you will now do some editing. So copy the link. Aha. You see where you have storage name. Storage name.
Yes.
You will change it to Maven storage.
Maven.
Mavens. MA, yes. Remove the storage name and now change it to
M-A.
MAN.
M-A-N.
MA, I'm coming on. It's not easy for me like this. Maven storage.
M-A-E-N.
Maven, yes. STOR, like storages.
So I need to
ST,
put, I need to write them together, right?
yes,
Maven
together,
storage.
together, yes.
Like this.
This is double S, so like Maven's storage. After N, yes, another S.
Like this.
Yes. So hold on. You will still edit. Where you see container name, you will edit that one to bronze layer.
Ah,
Capital B. Where you see container name. Mm-hmm.
bronze.
Bronze minus layer. Put the minus layer. Exactly. Then folder name. Folder name.
Is the first one or the second one?
Uh oh,
Folder names.
sorry.
Okay.
The container name is supposed to be Maven minus market to not bronze layer. Please change it. Maven minus market. Mm-hmm. Capital M. Yes. Maven. Maven.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Maven minus markets. Okay. Then there is the folder name. That one
Yeah.
is now bronze minus layer.
Capital B.
Capital B, yes. Minus layer. So you can remove the file name. You can remove down.
From A, abi?
Remove that one. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
That slash will still be there, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so. You should be there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you copy it. Send the new one to the group now.
Let me test it if it's going to work first. Why I send it?
How do you want to test it?
Okay, I thought I'm going to put inside my.
No. It's inside your fabric that you connect.
Okay.
It's not a website link.
Don't mind me.
It's a link to an ADLS Gen 2 storage.
Okay, so we go back to create shortcut.
Yes. You pick ADLS Gen 2 now.
This one.
Yes, Azure Data Lake Gen 2 storage. New connection. Yes. You paste that URL there. Mm-hmm.
This dot, is it correct?
Which dot? It's supposed to start from HTTP now.
Yeah.
Maybe we did not copy it very well.
It's all right. It's all right. So I can click next now.
Mm, click next.
Invalid.
Maybe you should remove that slash. You can remove that slash after the list. Maybe that's what is causing.
Still showing invalid though.
It's still showing invalid, I mean.
Mm.
But you did not remove the slash now. Or
What?
the close brackets. Is this slash or close brackets?
I've removed it now.
No, it's still there.
I've removed it now.
It's,
Okay.
it's close brackets. It's close. Remove the close brackets.
Okay.
Okay, let's see now.
Still the same.
Please send the edited one to me. Let me see. Send it to the chats. Send it to the Teams chats. I'm guessing there are some mistakes in. Have you sent it to the chat?
Just hold on. Come.
Okay.
I've sent it.
Okay. Okay, I'll send you another one now. Okay, try this one.
Okay. An exception occur.
You move it from organization accounts because it's not within your accounts.
Okay. So I should put what?
Um,
Account key or
mm,
what I
there's no option of maybe public or something. Hmm? The remote name could not be resolved. Hmm? I'm coming.
Flashpoint.
I think it's our naming that's the problem. I'm coming. So, do we have capital M in our home? We have small letter M, right? Maven storage, Maven market, bronze layer. Ah, please just give me a minute, guys. 1 minute, please. I'm trying to connect to an external storage. Hmm. I want to copy it and try it on my end to see. Mm. Okay. Let me try another link. Okay. I already in my storage browser, load container. Please just give me 1 minute, okay? Mm. Still giving me problems. So. Maybe we'll do it next week. Mr. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we'll try it again next week. We'll try the Azure Regulator Gen 2 next week.
Okay.
I will have sorted out the link and everything, so we can use that to demo the shortcuts to external sources.
Okay.
Okay. Does anybody want me to explain some parts or put more lights on some things that Mr. Okay has explained? Eniola, Aisha, Akinloye, anybody? Do we understand the demo?
Yes, I understand it for me.
Okay, thank you. What about Eniola, Kayode, and Aisha?
I joined. I joined late, so I am really late. I think that.
Sorry, your voice is low.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm saying I joined late, so I think I'm very lost. I'm just going to like dead flash last
Ah,
class.
please, I don't know. Is it me that I'm not hearing her well? Abi?
You said you joined late, right?
Hello. I said I joined late, so I'm like very lost. I'm just going to like wait for the recorded version. Maybe I'll be able to like
Okay,
get on track. And I was also not in class the last time.
okay.
We did old class last week. So if
Yeah, upper one.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Okay, so uh let me just quickly reiterate what Mr. Okay has said earlier. So
Do I
in
need
the
to stop
previous
sharing?
classes, sorry?
Do I need to stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop sharing, no problem.
Okay.
So the previous classes we covered basics of Microsoft Fabric. We were able to talk about the different components of Fabric, and we discussed the one lake, which is the basic or the what's it called? Native storage, um, the native storage for the Fabric environment, right? And we talked about the different experiences of Fabric, which we dived into Lakehouse. We talked a bit about warehouse, about KQL databases, about Fabric, SQL database, and the rest like that. Now, we're not talking about the Lakehouse. That's what is powering Lakehouse at the back end is Apache Spark. Apache Spark uh, for big data processing. That is, if you want to process big data, Apache Spark is the Lakehouse is the best place to do that because Lakehouse is a combo of the warehouse and the data lake. That it has the flexibility of the two sides. It means that you can store both structured and unstructured data there, right? And we started looking at different ways we can integrate data inside of the lakehouse. And we talked about uploading data directly. That's number one. We talked about using pipeline, right? I mean, you can copy data from different locations, right? Different source systems, different storage systems, different what was it called? Different data sources, right? And we said, okay, today we are going to be discussing about Fabric Lakehouse, Fabric shortcuts. Now, shortcut is another way of bringing in data or integrating data into the lake house, right? Now, there are two sources that we can connect to. We can create shortcuts to. There's the internal source and there's the external source. The internal source has to do with the data that has been integrated into the Fabric environment already, that is sitting on one lake, right? For example, you have data in other lake houses, you have data in warehouses, you have data in KQL databases, right? You already have data in all of these places already existing. Now, what we are trying to do, what we are trying to do, or let me say the essence of shortcuts, is to avoid you from duplicating the same data that already exists inside of your Fabric environment. You don't want to be creating or ingesting data that you already have, right? So when you create a shortcuts, you are not actually copying the actual data. Are you getting my point now, Eniola? You are not
Yes,
copying
sir.
the actual data. You are only linking to that data, right? You are only creating a linkage to that data. But it's not like you are duplicating the same data again, or you are creating a copy of that data. It's a different creating a copy of a data and getting the data, integrating data through shortcuts are two different things. Do you understand? So
Yes.
shortcuts is only giving you a link to the source. Now, when a shortcut breaks or something happens to shortcut, it doesn't affect the source. Do you understand? If the source remains unaffected at all. Now, when you bring in data through the shortcut, you will see that there's a logo. There's a logo that shows like an open and closed bracket that will show that, oh, this data was integrated using Fabric shortcuts, right? So by the time we come next week, if you look at the interface, you will see that you can connect to. So we've talked about the internal sources. That is data source data that's already sitting on the Fabric environment. Now, the external is now other. Microsoft is a vendor, right? And there are other vendors, Amazon, Google, who again? So you see Amazon S3, you see Amazon X3 compatible, you see Azure. Some companies are already on the Azure side already before the advent of Microsoft Fabric. Microsoft Fabric is still part of Microsoft Azure, right? Now, some companies are already using Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Lake Gen 2 storage, Azure Synapse, blah, blah, blah. All of those things. They're already using it to do their data engineering workloads, to build all their engineering workflows, everything. Now, what they're trying to do is that they don't actually need to move their data that they already have on the Azure Lake data Gen 2 storage. They don't need to move it or integrate all that data inside of Microsoft Fabric. So if you already have data stored in your Azure Lake Gen 2 storage, you can just create a shortcut to that data that will point to that data that is not actually moving the physical data from where it is, right, to your Fabric environment. That is what shortcut is about. So shortcut is pointing to the data that's already existing inside of your Azure Data Lake Gen 2 storage. And that's what we've been trying to do, but I think the link is not working. So we'll resolve that. So by the time we come next week, we are going to I am going to show you how you can connect to those external storage from other vendors. I think when we say external storage system, it means that storage that are not native to Microsoft Fabric, that are not within the Microsoft Fabric environment. If you have data ingested in your warehouse, in your lakehouse, in your KQA databases, in your SQL databases on Fabric, those ones they are what? Internal sources, because they are all the data in those different experiences are sitting inside of the one lake, which is the native storage for the Fabric environment. But when you talk of other vendors like Google, like Amazon, those ones becomes external storage. Now, Azure, you might be saying, but Azure is Microsoft now. So why is it an external? It's still an external storage because the environment is different. Do you understand now, Eniola? The
Yes, sir.
environment is different. The Azure environment is different from the Fabric environment. So Azure, even though the Azure environment is still a Microsoft environment, but it's different from the Fabric environment. Do you understand? So that's why you still see Azure
Yes.
Data Lake Gen 2 storage as part of the list for external sources. Is it clear now?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything I want to also add? I'm coming. Now, we have table section and file section inside of the lake house. Right? Now, this is it. You know that the table section, we call it the manage section. And the file section is called the unmanaged section. Now, the way the structure is like this. The file section is meant to be a place where raw data are going to land. Raw data will land in the file section. Unprocessed data will land there. Now, after we've now processed it, is now when it will move to the table section. So the table section is where we will now do all our semantic model and the rest from that. Right? Now, if you create shortcuts, you can create shortcuts that would that the data would display inside of the file section, and you can create a shortcut that the data will display inside of the table section. So you can create shortcuts, and the data is going to be ingested into any of the two. Now, but this is the dicey part of it, or let me not say dicey. This is the uh these are the limitations that comes with things. Now, if yes, the table section of your lakehouse, the table format, or the is it storage format? I don't know how to put the word. Is it storage format to table format is Delta, right? Now, there's what we call Parquet and there's what we call Delta. Parquet is they call it columnar storage type, right? It stores data in terms of columns. Now, Delta table is still Parquet, but that now gives you another add-on, which is log files. Log files mean files that comes with that allows you to be able to track changes inside of a table, right? So the format on the table section is Delta formats, right? We call the tables Delta table. Now, if you are creating a shortcut to the table section and the source you are creating shortcut from is not in that format, it's not going to work for the table section. But if it's the file section, because the file section can integrate any kind of data, so it's going to shortcut is going to work on the file section. Do you understand? But if it's on the table section and the source is not in that delta table format, it's not going to integrate the data inside of the table section of your lakehouse. Is that clear to everybody what I'm explaining? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be sending you a link on the Microsoft Learn page where you can read more about everything that has to do with shortcuts. And it's going to give you more detail about shortcuts. Is that clear? Now, you know that inside both the table section and the file section, we can create what is called a subfolder, right? Now, when we are creating shortcuts to in a table section, you cannot create a shortcut to a subfolder inside a subfolder. It has to be at the table level itself and not a subfolder level inside of the table. Exactly. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Well, if it is in a file section and you have a subfolder, you can create a shortcut to integrate the data inside of that subfolder. That is the file section of the lakehouse. Right? And the data that we integrated through shortcuts, we can still use Notebook. That is integration of Apache Spark, which allows us to use the PySpark programming, the language, the SQL, Spark SQL, and the rest to transform data that is integrated through shortcuts. Is it clear? Does it make sense to us, guys? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So as I said earlier, we have the internal shortcuts which we can connect to SQL databases, lakehouses, mirror databases, semantic models, SQL databases, warehouses, and the rest. Right? Um, I don't know why we didn't get that link very well to work, but don't worry. By next week we'll sort it out. Okay. So I think that's majorly what shortcut is about. But we will talk more about it, then end it, then probably move to another injection method to lakehouse. Then when we are done with lakehouses, uh, we will do something called a medallion architecture. All right, with Fabric Lakehouse, where we are going to be creating the bronze layer, the silver layer, and the gold layer. Now, when we are done with all the injection methods, then I will try. We are not going to go into the part of the SQL analytics endpoints. We will talk about the security part of things, right? How we talk about item level security. We'll talk about workspace level security and all of those things. Then we can now move to warehouse. We move to Fabric warehouse. We'll talk about injection methods to warehouse also. We'll talk about the security part of things. We'll talk about the SQL engine at the back end of warehouse and how we can create database, how we can create views, how we can use how we can use XLMA endpoints, right? Also, we're also going to touch based on that too for lake houses too. How you can use XLMA endpoints like using your SSMX to modify data inside of your lakehouse, using the lakehouse connection string. Don't worry, we'll get there. It's just step by step, right? Thank you, everyone. Does anybody have any questions? Just let me know before we end the section. So let me send the link to the WhatsApp group so everybody can Go and read on the Microsoft Learn page. Is there any question, guys?
No question from me.
Okay. Your line, Aisha, do you have Microsoft Fabric trial accounts that you can use for practice?
No, I don't.
I think I've
Okay.
set up one before, but I'll check it
Okay.
out again and get back to you if it's not working.
If it's not working, please let me know so we can help you set up one by next week, Sunday, before the
Okay.
class will start.
Okay.
But you
Yes.
only have 60 days anyway for you to practice.
Yeah. Like how many days is the trial?
60 days. 60.
I've set it
Yes.
up since. I'm sure it would have. That
It
one
will
would
have
have
expired, Abby. But can you
expired.
check
Yeah.
whether you can renew it?
Okay. I'll check.
If you cannot renew, let me know.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Yeah, please. There's a question I want to ask.
Yeah.
Is it possible to integrate maybe a transformed data in one lake or maybe in fabrics with
Okay.
another data source?
Let me try to understand the question very well. Can you come again on the question?
The question is, for instance,
Okay.
now let's assume that you get data from different data sources external to fabrics. You have filled those data. Maybe you have marked the data. You now want to send it to another data source. Maybe you want to send it to SQL server. Is that kind of operation possible?
Okay. So you've gotten data from different data sources.
Yes,
You've
you have.
now transformed it. You've merged all data together.
Yes, and you now want to
So
send it.
when you say send, you mean like you want to use SSMS, for example, to query that data?
Yes, we want to send the data to. You want to integrate the data with another maybe database or something that you want to streamline so that you want to form a kind of data pipeline. So as the data
Okay.
is
You want to
coming to
create
one,
a database with it.
yes, you send you all the data that has been transformed on the fabrics. You send it to another data storage like SQL server.
Okay, like SQL Server, the
Or
on-prem one, Abby.
what?
I said you mean the on-prem one, Abby?
What do I on-prem?
I mean SQL Server on-prem, the one we have on our local computer.
I know I'm just asking if that kind of operation is possible. Because what we are doing now so far is that, okay, we are just bringing data into fabrics and
Yes.
we are processing the data. So after processing the data, what's the next thing? What happened?
Okay, good. So after processing the data, right, the next thing that we'll do is that there are different ways to it. We can create a pipeline, right, that
Yes.
would be moving the data or updating the data from time to time, right?
Okay.
After that is done, we can now create our semantic model from all the tables that have been integrated that we've transformed. So that semantic model will now involve us separating dimensions from facts,
Okay.
linking fact to dimensions, writing our DAX formula inside of the semantic model and everything. Then it is that semantic model that the Power BI analyst will now use to create reports.
Okay. But data cannot flow out of it to another data source.
So another data, like another storage. I don't know. I've not tried that before
For
anyway.
instance, if you look at there is you see SS
S3 buckets.
no SQL, that is that's the name that they call it this thing. That you can use it to process data, and once you use to process data, the data can be integrated with another database, such as
The SSIS, I
SQL,
think you're talking about.
SS, yes.
Okay, so SSIS,
Mm.
um the fabric part that is similar to that is the fabric data factory that we use for
Okay.
pipeline
Okay.
that will move data from source transformation to destination rather. And in the middle of that, eh, is
Mm.
transformation. Now, two things are different in the cloud part than what we usually do on prem. It is on prem that we do ETL. Do you understand,
Okay.
Mr. Okay? It is
No
on prem
problem.
that we do extract, transform, and load. But on cloud, we do ELT,
No problem.
extract, load, and transform.
Mm.
That's what we usually do on cloud platforms, whether Azure, whether Fabric. And you see that what we first did was to extract, we loaded the data inside the Fabric environment. After loading, is now when we are now transforming.
Yeah, you are not loading again.
We are not loading again.
It's all right.
It's still inside the lake house that we are doing transformation.
It's all right.
So even if you get to, even if you are doing things on Azure too, it's the same way.
Okay.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay. So what I would advise everybody is this. Does this should I even say this? Does it make sense? Okay. So if you can learn Fabric to some extent and you can navigate your way around it, you understand the basic concepts, you know how to do all data integration to Lakehouse, you know how to run notebooks, you know how to you understand the warehouse parts, you can do stuff, data injection and all. I would advise that if you can still try on your own personal, although we are still going to touch base on it anyway, but it might not be now. It's until we explore the whole Fabric to the point we can, at least to the best of our knowledge too, because we are also still learning. Um, I would advise that we learn Microsoft Azure. I'm telling you, if you know Microsoft Azure, Fabric will just be like what Yorubas call Feron Jeko for you.
Microsoft Azure. Yeah.
Yes, because the things that Microsoft see, the things you see on Fabric, they are not new. They are not new. They are on Azure. But Fabric is just like a simplified version of it. Do you understand?
Okay.
On Azure, for example, now you want to create a pipeline in Azure Data Factory. You first need to go and create a resource group, start creating your storage accounts, start creating your data factory, start doing a lot of other things like that. You can even use key vaults and the rest of that. The process is long, right? Before you now go get to your Azure Data Factory interface and you start integrating data, creating link service, and all of those things, right? But if you look at the job market and you look at most of the jobs, right, you will see, although I've seen jobs that they are purely asking for Power BI and Fabric knowledge for for some job adverts. You see some, okay, for example, now MPN has a advert in Calgary for senior consultant advanced analytics, and the job is purely Microsoft Fabric and Power BI, right? Some companies will want somebody that knows Power BI, Azure, and Microsoft Fabric, the three combined, right? Some will even tell you that having knowledge of Databricks, Azure Databricks is additional advantage, right? So see, don't allow these things to overwhelm you at all in any way. Do you understand? You just have to take the learning easily on yourself and take it one step at a time. And all of us will get there. Just a matter of time. But we should not rush. It's better to know it well than to know it halfway, or not knowing it in a proper structured manner than to, or it's not something that we can rush. It's learning that will come with intentionality, right? And interest. So I actually want to know it. So that's just my own advice. Okay, if there's nothing more, we can end the class for today. Let's come back again next week, Sunday. Thank you, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.